hazelnuts, flour, nutmeg, salt, clove powder, baking soda, sugar, baking powder, cinnamon, raisins, yeast. We're firstly going to sift 4 cups of flour, all-purpose flour. Then add all of the ingredients. The measurements I would leave in the bottom. Then my proof yeast. And we are going to need a very soft but pliable dough. As to how soft the dough is, because remember we are using absolutely no oils, no butter, no oils in this recipe, so we want the dough to be very soft. Sprinkle a slight amount of flour, and you're going to use palm size, and you're going to make a ball. To my pre-greased pan, I am going to start to add the first layer, but before I do that, I am going to cut each one of them into half, and we are going to lay them in the pan, and you will see why I am cutting them as we go along. So we're going to use half of each and put the first layer into the pan. If you want, you could shape them into a ball. I choose just to leave the shape that it was and place them, and you want to place them tightly together. And this is what it looks like. And now we're going to place the second layer. Again, remember to place them tightly together, not apart, but tightly together. And this is the second layer. Before I continue,
click the bell for new videos.
So after placing the second layer, I had 3 pieces remaining. So I'm going to cut those 3 pieces into 2. So I'll have 6 pieces, and I am going to place those 6 pieces on the outside of the first layer. And I am going to space them out evenly. Alright? Not on top the second layer, but on the first layer at the side. So we're going to add and space them out a good distance from each other. So this is what it looks like. So we're going to get it rest for 25 minutes. And after the 25 minutes of resting, more or less until it raised, this is what it will look like. Then we're going to add some crushed hazelnut and sprinkle over it and let it rest for 5 more minutes. Once rested for 5 more minutes, we are going to place it in our preheated oven. So this is what it will look like after the 5 extra minutes of resting. So altogether it rests for 30 minutes. Before we continue, after the 30 minutes of resting, we placed it into our preheated oven. And this is what it looks like after 35 minutes of baking. Reminder, this has no grease, no type of dairy products in it whatsoever. So if you don't like that nice hard crust, you can add a layer of butter to the bread once it is hot. You just coat it with a layer of butter if you wish. The inside of the bread is really soft and full of flavor with all the spices that we used, and the raisins itself. So it is getting that natural sweetness from the raisins that was added. The sugar only was used to proof the yeast. That's the only time we use any type of sugar in this recipe. But the natural sugars from the raisins has this bread just right. And all the other spices that blend so well together. This bread was really enjoyable, really nice. Give it a try.